She hoped that they could help her where the doctors could not. The healers gave her many herbs and told her to do many things. Chioma followed their advice carefully. She drank the bitter herbs and did all the healers had told her to do. But still, she could not get pregnant. In the heart of a busy city in Nigeria lived a woman named Chioma. She was a kind and hardworking woman. Chioma was married to a man named Nzube. Nzube loved Chioma very much. He always said that Chioma was his answered prayer. They were very happy together. Chioma and Nzube were both doing well. They worked very hard to build their lives. Chioma had a small shop where she sold beautiful fabrics. Nzube was an engineer. They both earned enough money to live comfortably. They had a nice house and a car. They were grateful for what they had. But there was one thing missing in their lives. Chioma could not get pregnant. This made Chioma very sad. She cried and worried a lot. She feared that Nzube might leave her for another woman because she could not give him a child. Nzube always tried to comfort her. He would hold her close and say, "Chioma, I love you. We will get through this together." Even though Nzube said this, Chioma was still worried. She wanted a baby more than anything else in the world. She wanted to hold her own child in her arms and sing lullabies. She wanted to see Nzube holding their baby and smiling with joy. But no matter how hard they tried, Chioma could not get pregnant. Chioma visited many hospitals to seek help. She saw many doctors and took many tests. The doctors tried their best, but they could not find anything wrong with Chioma or Nzube. They said, "Sometimes these things take time. Be patient and keep trying." But Chioma had been patient for many years and still she had no baby. Chioma also visited traditional healers. She hoped that they could help her where the doctors could not. The healers gave her many herbs and told her to do many things. Chioma followed their advice carefully. She drank the bitter herbs and did all the healers had told her to do. But still, she could not get pregnant. As time passed, Chioma became very frustrated. She cried more often. She could not sleep at night because she was always thinking about her problem. Nzube did his best to support her. He would say, "Chioma, do not worry. I am here for you. We will find a way." But Chioma's heart was heavy with worry and fear. One evening, as they sat together in their living room, Chioma looked at Nzube with tears in her eyes. "Nzube, what if I can never give you a child? What if you leave me for another woman?" she asked. Nzube took her hand and said, "Chioma, my love, I love you so dearly. I married you because I love you, not just to have children. We will face this together. Please do not think that I will leave you. We are in this together and we will find a way." Chioma nodded, but deep inside, she was still worried. She wanted to believe Nzube, but the fear of losing him was always there. Days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. Chioma continued to visit the doctors and traditional healers, but every time, the result was the same. No baby. Chioma's frustration grew. She felt like she was running out of options. She did not know what to do next. One day, while she was at her shop, her friend Ada came to visit. Ada was also married and had 3 children. She saw the sadness on Chioma's face and asked, "Chioma, what is wrong? You look so sad." Chioma sighed and said, "Ada, I have tried everything, but I still can't get pregnant. I do not know what to do anymore. I am so frustrated." Ada hugged her friend and said, "Chioma, do not give up. Sometimes these things take time. You and Nzube are strong. You will get through this." Chioma nodded, but she still felt sad. She wanted to believe Ada, but the weight was becoming too much for her. She did not know how much longer she could hold on. That night, Chioma and Nzube sat together and talked. Nzube, I am so tired. I do not know what else to do. I have tried everything but nothing seems to work, Chioma said. Nzube hugged her and said, Chioma, I know this is hard, but we must keep trying. Do not lose hope. We will find a way. Chioma rested her head on Nzube's shoulder and sighed. She wanted to believe him, but her heart was heavy with worry and fear. As they sat there, the night grew darker and the city outside their window became quiet. Chioma closed her eyes and prayed silently. She prayed for strength, for hope, and for a miracle. She prayed that one day she and Nzube would have a child to call their own. Chioma's worry for a child did not go away. Every day, she thought about having a baby. She prayed to God often, asking for a blessing. One night, Chioma knelt by her bed and prayed, Dear God, please let me get pregnant, even if it means having a miscarriage. I just want to know what it feels like to carry a baby. Nzube heard her prayer and felt sad. He wished he could take away her pain. He sat beside her and held her hand. Chioma, do not say such things. We will have our child. Not even one child. We will have our children. Keep faith, he said gently. Chioma nodded, but deep inside, she felt very tired. She had prayed for so long and still had no baby. She continued to search for solution. She visited more hospitals and traditional healers. She tried new medicines and herbs, but after many months, nothing changed. Chioma still could not get pregnant. One fateful day, after another visit to a healer, Chioma decided she had had enough. She was tired of the endless visits and false hopes. She decided to focus on her business instead. Nzube, I am going to concentrate on my shop. I need to keep busy, she told her husband. Nzube smiled and said, That is a good idea, Chioma. Your shop is doing well. You are very talented. Chioma put all her energy into her business. She worked hard every day, selling beautiful fabrics. Her shop became very popular. People from all over the city came to buy from her. Chioma started to make a lot of money. She saved her earnings and decided to invest in something new. Chioma bought some land and started to build houses. She hired workers and supervised the constructions. Her new business of buying and selling properties was successful. Chioma was happy to see her hard work paying off. She felt proud of her achievements. Nzube was very proud of Chioma too. You are amazing, Chioma. Look at what you have built, he said one evening as they sat in the living room. Chioma smiled and replied, Thank you, Nzube. I am happy. I am happy to be busy. It helps me not to think too much. Nzube nodded. He knew that even though Chioma was doing well in business, she still longed for a child. But he was glad to see her happy and busy. Nzube himself was not doing badly at work, but Chioma's business was thriving more than his. As time passed, Chioma's business continued to grow. She opened more shops and bought more land. She became one of the most successful businesswomen in the city. People admired her for her hard work and her determination. One day, Chioma was at her shop when her friend Ada came to visit. Ada smiled and said, Chioma, you are doing so well. I am super proud of you. Chioma smiled back and said, Thank you, my friend Ada. I am really trying my best. Ada looked at Chioma and asked, Do you still worry about having a child? Chioma sighed and said, Yes, Ada, I do, but I am trying to focus on my work and stay positive. Ada hugged Chioma and said, You are a strong woman, Chioma. Do not give up hope. God will answer your prayers. Chioma nodded. She knew Ada was right, but sometimes it was hard to stay hopeful. She missed the idea of having a baby to hold and love. Despite her sadness, Chioma kept working hard. She became known as a successful and kind businesswoman. She helped many people in her community and gave jobs to those who needed them. Chioma's heart was big and she always tried to help others. One evening, Nzube came home with a surprise. He had bought Chioma a beautiful necklace. This is for you, my dear. You deserve it for all your hard work, he said, placing the necklace around her neck. Chioma smiled and kissed Nzube. Thank you, my love. You always know how to make me feel special. As they sat together, Chioma felt grateful for Nzube's love and support. She knew that no matter what happened, she had a loving husband by her side. Chioma continued to work hard and focus on her businesses. She was successful and admired by many, but deep inside, she still longed for a child. She prayed every night, asking God for a miracle. She did not know what the future held, but she kept her faith and hope alive. Chioma's life was filled with hard work and success. She was doing well in her business and many people admired her, but not everyone was happy for her. Some people in the city started to gossip about Chioma. They whispered among themselves, saying that Chioma was using her unborn children for rituals. That was why she was succeeding. They said. Chioma heard these terrible rumors, and they hurt her deeply. She returned to her sorrowful life, crying often. She could not believe that people thought she would do something so awful. She felt lonely and misunderstood. One day, Chioma's friend Ada called her. Chioma, I have heard about a powerful herbalist who can help you. Maybe your childlessness is not ordinary, Ada said. Chioma did not hesitate. Ada, please take me to this herbalist. I am willing to pay anything. What is the use of all my success if I have no child to inherit it? She replied, her voice filled with desperation. Ada agreed, and they scheduled to visit the herbalist the next day. What Chioma did not know was that Ada had secretly conspired with the herbalist to defraud her of her money. The next day, Ada and Chioma traveled to the herbalist place. It was a small dark hut at the edge of the city. The herbalist was an old man with a long beard and piercing eyes. He greeted them and invited them inside. After some incantations and strange chants, the herbalist gave Chioma a foul-smelling concoction to drink. This will help you, he said, his voice deep and mysterious. Chioma drank the concoction quickly, despite how bitter and terrible it smelled. She was willing to try anything for the chance to have a child. The herbalist also gave her more concoctions to take home. The herbalist then demanded a huge amount of money for his services. Chioma did not hesitate to pay. She handed over the money, not caring how expensive it was. All she wanted was a child. After paying, Chioma and Ada left the herbalist place. Chioma felt a mix of hope and fear. She hoped that this would finally help her have a baby, but she was also scared that it might not work. After they left the herbalist place, Ada went back to see the herbalist alone. They sat in his small dark hut, laughing and making jest of Chioma. The herbalist counted the money they had gotten from Chioma, and his eyes gleamed with greed. Chioma has a lot of money to throw away, Ada said with a smile. She will keep coming back as long as she believes we can help her. The herbalist nodded, smiling. Then we must make sure she keeps believing, he replied. Meanwhile, Chioma continued drinking the concoction given to her by the herbalist. Every day, she hoped that a miracle would happen. She wanted nothing more than to feel the joy of carrying a baby. The concoction was bitter and smelled awful, but Chioma did not care. She was willing to endure anything for a chance to have her own child. Nsube noticed the terrible smell of the substance Chioma was drinking. He was never comfortable with it, but he pretended not to mind. He did not want Chioma to feel that he was not supportive. He loved her and wanted to see her happy. 3 months passed and nothing happened. Chioma became very frustrated. She cried her eyes out, feeling hopeless and defeated. One day, she called Ada to inform her of the disappointment. Ada, it's been 3 months and still nothing has happened. I am so tired and sad, Chioma said through her tears. Ada came to Chioma's shop to comfort her. She hugged Chioma and said, do not worry, my friend. The baby will come. Sometimes these things take time. Just believe in God. Chioma thanked Ada for her concern, but deep inside, she felt lost and desperate. She wanted to believe Ada, but her heart was heavy with sorrow. Days later, Ada came with another story. Chioma, I have heard about a prophetess who can help you. She is very powerful and has helped many women like you. Ada said. Chioma, still clinging to hope, agreed to follow Ada to the prophetess. As usual, the prophetess extorted Ada huge amounts of money from Chioma, promising that she would soon have a baby. Chioma paid, not minding the cost, because she was desperate for a solution. Despite all her efforts and the money she spent, there were no results. Chioma's hope started to fade, but she kept trying. She wanted to believe that one day she would have a child. Nzube became increasingly worried about the way Chioma was spending money on so-called herbalists and prophetesses. One day, as they sat together in their living room, Nzube decided to talk to her about it. My love, I am very worried about you. He began gently. You have spent so much money on these herbalists and prophetess, but nothing has changed. I don't think they can help you. I think they are only after your money. Choma looked at Nzube with desperation in her eyes. Nzube, I just want a child so badly. I am willing to do anything, like anything at all. I am willing to pay any amount of money. I can't give up now, she said, tears welling up. Nzube sighed and took her hand. I understand, my love, but we need to be careful. Not everyone who says they can help actually can. Please, just think about it. Choma nodded, but her heart was still set on finding a solution. She didn't want to give up hope. A few days later, Ada, her friend, came to her with another news of a prophet again. Chioma, I have found a powerful prophet who has helped many women. You must see him, Ada said excitedly. Chioma, desperate for a solution, agreed again. They visited the prophet, who had a large congregation and a reputation for performing miracles. The prophet listened to Chioma's story and then made a shocking demand. To receive God's blessing, you must make a great sacrifice. You must give your landed properties and your car to the church, the prophet declared. Chioma felt a chill run down her spine. This demand was too much. She had worked so hard for her properties and car. She decided to discuss it with Nzube. That night, Chioma told Nzube, her husband, about the prophet's demand. Nzube's face turned serious. Chioma, this is too much. You cannot give away everything we have worked for. These people are only after your money. Please, stop going to all those so-called prophets and prophetesses, even the herbalists. Please stop. Chioma listened to her husband for once. She also felt uneasy about what the prophet had requested. She decided to stop seeking help from these people. What Chioma didn't know was that the prophet was acting based on information Ada had given him. Chioma felt a mix of relief and sadness. She had spent so much time and money searching for a solution, and now she felt lost, but she trusted Nzube and decided to focus on their life together. Some weeks later, Nzube bumped into an old friend from his childhood. They were both surprised and happy to see each other. They started talking, catching up on old times and sharing stories about their lives. Nzube felt comfortable enough to share his and Chioma's struggles for a child. His friend was greatly touched. Nzube, I know how much you and Chioma want a child. There is a river goddess who is known to help couples like you. You should visit her. I believe you'll find a solution there, his friend suggested. Nzube became discouraged. He remembered all the money and hope they had wasted on herbalists and prophets. But his friend seemed sincere and wanted to help. Nzube decided to tell Chioma about it when he got home. That evening, Nzube told Chioma about his friend's suggestion. Chioma's eyes lit up with hope. Nzube, please let go. We have tried everything else. Maybe this will work. So please, let go. She pleaded with her husband. Nzube wasn't convinced. Chioma, I am not sure. have gone through a lot. We already been through so much. Let me think about it, he said. 2 weeks passed. Nzube thought about it every day. Finally, he agreed. All right, Shoma, we will seek the river goddess, he said. His friend took them to the river where the goddess lived. The place was quiet and peaceful. With the sound of flowing water, the river goddess appeared, beautiful and mysterious. She listened to their story and then spoke. Return in 2 days with the items I will prescribe, she said, giving them a list of things to bring. On the third day, Nzube and Chioma returned with the items. The goddess took them to the river, performed some incantations, and bathed Chioma in the river. After a while, she revealed something shocking. Chioma, you were not meant to have a child in your lifetime, the goddess said. Chioma's heart broke. She sobbed and pleaded with the goddess to help her. Please, goddess, I beg you, help me with a child, she cried. The goddess looked at her for a long moment and then agreed. But with a warning, if I help you, your death will come from this child. One day, the child will kill you, she said. Chioma, desperate for a child, accepted the condition without hesitation. I don't care. I just want to have a child, she said. Nzube was not comfortable with this. He did not want to lose Chioma, but seeing her desperation, he decided to support her. The goddess performed some rituals and told them to go back home. It is done, she said. For the first time in a long while, Chioma felt peace of mind. She and Nzube returned home, hopeful that their dream of having a child would finally come true. One day, Ada came to visit Chioma. She looked curious and a bit annoyed. Chioma, why didn't you respond to the prophet's demand? He said you didn't bring the things he asked for, Ada asked. Chioma sighed and shook her head. Ada, I couldn't meet up with what the man was demanding. It was too much, she replied. Ada tried to persuade Chioma to change her mind. Chioma, you should do it. What if it works? You might get your child, she said, but Chioma's mind was made up. No, Ada, I have decided to stop going to all those people. They are just taking my money and giving me false hope, Chioma said firmly. Ada had always looked for a way to ruin Chioma's happiness, and she thought this was the perfect opportunity. Since she didn't succeed with the prophet, she decided to try another plan, seducing Nzube. On a certain day, Ada purposely passed by Nzube's workshop, hoping he would see her. Her plan worked. Nzube noticed her and called out to her. Ada, it's been a while. How are you? He asked. Ada went closer to him, smiling. Nzube, I am doing well. How are you too? She replied. They exchanged pleasantries, and Ada lied, saying she had lost her phone and needed Nzube's number again. Nzube, not suspecting anything, gave it to her. 2 days later, Ada called Nzube. Nzube, I have something important to tell you. All the places I took Chioma to, they have confirmed that she can never bear children because she is married to a spiritual husband. Ada lied. Nzube couldn't believe his ears. He decided to record the call so Chioma could hear for herself. Ada continued, Nzube, you deserve to have many children. You are too good and handsome not to be a father. Send Chioma away and I will give you all the children you need. When Ada finished talking, Nzube ended the call without saying anything. That evening, when he got home, he played the recording for Chioma. Chioma listened in shock. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. She picked up her phone and called Ada. When Ada picked, she tried to act nice. Hello, Chioma. How are you? She said. Chioma cut her off. Ada, stay away from my husband. How could you say such things? She warned angrily. At first, Ada was shocked that Nzube had told Chioma everything, but she quickly recovered and answered back. Chioma, you should thank your stars that I didn't succeed in taking your money. I was the one arranging all those people I took you to. You are just a fool and you will always be childless, she mocked. Chioma was so surprised that her phone fell from her hand. Her own best friend had betrayed her. She cried for days because of Ada's betrayal, feeling hurt and alone. But through it all, Nzube was always there for her, comforting her and reminding her of his love. They knew they had to be strong and face whatever challenges came their way together. After a month, Choma became very sick. Nzube was worried and decided to take her to the hospital. He thought that the stress of all the child seeking efforts was now affecting his wife. When they reached the clinic, the doctor examined Choma and ran some tests. A few hours later, the doctor came into the room with a big smile on his face. Congratulations, Mrs. Choma, you are pregnant, he announced. The joy that Nsube and Choma felt was out of this world. They hugged each other tightly, tears of happiness streaming down their faces. They had waited so long for this moment, and now it was finally here. They went back home, excited and full of joy. Nzube called his friend to share the good news. It was all celebration in their house. Friends and family came over to congratulate them, and the house was filled with laughter and happiness. 2 days later, Nzube and Chioma decided to return to the river goddess to appreciate her. The goddess had not asked for any money. She only requested that they come back to show their gratitude when they got what they wanted. Nzube and Chioma wanted to honor that request. When they arrived at the river, the goddess appeared before them. "We have come to thank you for your help," Nzube said, bowing his head respectfully. The goddess smiled and blessed them again. "I am glad you got what you wanted. But remember what I warned you about, Chioma. The child will bring you death," she reminded them. The joy in their hearts was so overwhelming that they did not care much about the warning. "Thank you, goddess," Chioma said, her heart filled with gratitude and excitement. Days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. Chioma's stomach kept getting bigger. Their neighbors started noticing and whispering amongst themselves. Those who had initially mocked Chioma now felt ashamed. But Chioma didn't care. She was proudly rocking her baby bump, feeling happier than ever. Nzube would often reminisce about what the goddess had warned them. He would always let out a silent prayer of protection for his wife. He loved Chioma deeply and wanted her to be safe and happy. As Chioma's due date approached, they prepared for the arrival of their baby. Nzube set up a nursery and Chioma bought baby clothes and toys. Their house was filled with excitement and anticipation. They both felt blessed and hopeful, ready to welcome their long-awaited child into the world. One day, Ada and Chioma bumped into each other at the market. Ada was shocked to see Chioma with a big round belly. She stared at Chioma until she was out of the sight. "How come?" Ada asked herself, feeling confused and guilty. She immediately regretted all the bad things she had done to her best friend. "I should have been a better friend," Ada thought, but it was too late. Her guilt was so heavy that she couldn't bring herself to visit Chioma ever again. Months passed, and one day, Chioma felt a sharp pain in her belly. It was time. She was going into labor. Nzube quickly took her to the hospital. The labor was very painful and Chioma remembered the goddess's warning. She wondered if she was going to die that day. But as God would have it, after hours of pain and hard work, Chioma delivered a bouncing baby boy. When the doctor announced to Nzube that Chioma had given birth, he was overjoyed. "Finally, I am going to be a father," he shouted happily. He rushed into the ward to celebrate his wife and their new baby. Chioma was still weak but managed to give her husband a smile. Nzube prayed to God, thanking him for the precious gift they had received. "Thank you, God, for this miracle," Nzube whispered, holding Chioma's hand and looking at their baby with tears of joy in his eyes. Their hearts were filled with love and happiness. Despite all the struggles and betrayals, they finally had their dream come true. They named their baby boy Chukua, which means God has done well. Chukwu, or Emeka as everyone called him, was a sight to behold. Everyone who saw him couldn't help but admire him. He had bright eyes and a charming smile that melted hearts. Nzube loved him dearly, But Chioma took that love to an extreme. She pampered Emeka silly, giving him whatever he wanted. There was nothing Emeka did that was wrong in Chioma's eyes. If he wanted a new toy, Chioma bought it. If he wanted candy before dinner, Chioma gave it to him. Nzube often complained to Chioma that she was spoiling their son. Chioma, you are spoiling Emeka too much. He needs to learn discipline, Nzube would say. Chioma would always reply, Nzube, he is all we have. Let him enjoy his life. Nzube would shake his head and reply, that is why he should be properly raised, so he will make us proud in the future. But Chioma never listened. Emeka went to the best school in their town, wore the best clothes, and had the best toys. His life was full of luxury. Chioma was rich and didn't need Nzube's money to spoil their son. One evening, Nzube tried talking to Chioma again. Chioma, I know we love Emeka very much, but we need to teach him right from wrong. We need to prepare him for the future. But Chioma just smiled and said, Nzube, let him be a child. He will learn when he grows up. Nzube sighed, knowing that his words were falling on deaf ears. Emeka grew up with everything he wanted, but without much discipline. He became a bit stubborn and always expected to get his ways. Despite this, he was a bright child and did well in school. His teachers often praised his intelligence and had many friends, but Nzube worried about the future, hoping that Emeka would learn to be responsible and respectful. Chioma's love for Emeka was so strong that she couldn't see any fault in him. She believed that giving him everything he wanted was the best way to show her love. Nzube, on the other hand, knew that love also meant teaching and guiding. As the years passed, Emeka continued to grow in an environment of love and luxury. He was the apple of his mother's eyes and the pride of his father's heart. Nzube kept praying that one day Chioma, his wife, would understand the importance of balance in raising their son. Even during Emeka's university days, Chioma pampered him silly. He had no regard for anyone and wasted money on irrelevant things. Chioma would send him large sum of money, and Emeka would spend it on parties, expensive clothes, and flashy gadgets. He never saved a penny or thought about the future. One day, Nzube found out that Emeka had done something very wrong. He decided to scold his son and teach him a lesson. Emeka, you cannot continue like this. You need to learn to be responsible, Nzube said sternly. Chioma, hearing the commotion, jumped out of the room and stood in front of Emeka. Nzube, cut the boy some slack. He's just enjoying his youth, she said, defending Emeka. Nzube was mad at Chioma. Chioma, is Emeka not my son too? Why do you always shield him from consequences? He shouted, feeling frustrated. Seeing how angry her husband was, Chioma dragged Emeka out of the room. From that day, Nzube resolved that whatever Chioma wanted to raise Emeka, so be it. He felt defeated and decided to let Chioma handle things her way. After his school, Emeka refused to work anywhere. He would sit at home all day, and his mom would always give him whatever he wanted. His friends often asked him why he refused to work. Why do I have to work when my mom is wealthy? She has everything I need in life. One day, my mother will die, and then I will take over, Emeka would reply arrogantly. Nzube watched all this in silence, his heart heavy with worry. He saw the path Emeka was taking and feared for his future. He knew that Chioma's excessive pampering was not helping their son, but he felt powerless to change it. Chioma, blinded by her love for Emeka, did not see the damage she was causing. She believed that giving Emeka everything he wanted was the best way to show her love. Nzube, however, knew that love always meant teaching and guiding, but he had given up trying to convince Chioma. Emeka continued his reckless lifestyle, feeling entitled to everything and showing no respect for hard work or responsibility. He believed that his mother's wealth would always be there to support him, and he did not see the need to make something of himself. Nzube kept praying and hoping that one day something would happen to open Chioma's eyes to the truth. He wanted his son to be a responsible and successful man, but he felt that his hands were tied. All he could do was watch and wait, hoping for a change. Emeka started dating a girl named Sonia. Emeka loved Sonia so much. He would always take money from his mother and spend it on Sonia. Sonia was a beautiful and responsible girl. She never knew that Emeka solely depended on his mother for everything and that Emeka was lazy. One day, Emeka invited Sonia to their house. When she arrived, Nzube was at home. Emeka introduced Sonia to his father as his girlfriend. "Dad, this is Sonia, my girlfriend," Emeka said proudly. Nzube looked at Sonia and requested to speak to her alone. "Sonia, can I speak to you for a moment?" he asked. Emeka excused them and went to his room. When they were alone, Nzube asked Sonia, "Why is a beautiful girl like you with someone who is lazy and idle, depending on his parents for everything at his age?" Sonia was surprised. She had no idea that Emeka was so dependent on his parents. "I didn't know, sir," she said softly. "I will talk to him." When Sonia went to meet him upstairs, he tried to find out what his dad had told her. "What did my dad say to you?" he asked, looking curious and a bit worried. Sonia didn't tell him the details. Instead, she looked him in his eyes and said, "Emeka, I don't think I can continue with you unless you start working and make something meaningful out of your life." With that, she left. Emeka tried talking to her, but she wouldn't listen. He felt confused and hurt. For the first time, he realized that his lifestyle might cost him something very important. Nzube hoped that this would be a wake-up call for Emeka. He knew that Sonia was a good influence, and he silently prayed that Emeka would take her words to heart and change his ways. Emeka knew that his dad was behind Sonia's sudden change of mind, and he loved Sonia too much to lose her. The event saddened him so much that he didn't come to welcome his mom when she came back home. Chioma was curious, so she entered Emeka's room to find out what was wrong with her dear son. "Emeka, what is wrong? Why are you so sad?" she asked, sitting beside him. Emeka told her all that had happened. "Mom, Sonia said she won't continue with me unless I start working and make something meaningful out of my life. I know it's because of what Dad told her." Chioma hugged him and tried to cheer him up. "Emeka, don't worry. We'll find a way to get Sonia back," she said, thinking quickly. "I have an idea. Why don't you start coming to the shop with me? I can convince Sonia that you have started working, and with that, she will come back to you." Emeka reluctantly agreed to his mother's suggestion. He knew he wouldn't be doing anything at the shop. It was just to sit in his mother's office, eat and sleep. Chioma went to the living room and met her husband. "Nzube, why are you bent on causing Emeka pain?" she asked, frustrated. Nzube didn't say anything. He knew his wife wouldn't understand his intention. The next day, Emeka started going with his mom to the shop. He would sit in the office and order his mother's sales representatives around. Chioma took Sonia's number from Emeka and called her after about a month. "Hello, Sonia. This is Chioma, Emeka's mother." Chioma introduced herself. "I want to let you know that Emeka is now in charge of my business. He is working hard, and I believe he deserves another chance." Sonia, being respectful, accepted Chioma's plea. "Okay, ma, I'll give Emeka another chance," she said. Emeka and Sonia began their relationship again. A year into their relationship, Chioma urged her son to marry Sonia so he would own her forever before she would find out their deception. "Emeka, you should marry Sonia soon. That way, she will be yours forever," Chioma suggested. Emeka agreed. He proposed to Sonia and she joyfully accepted. They got married with all expenses covered by Chioma. The wedding was beautiful and everyone celebrated their love. Emeka felt happy to have Sonia by his side, while Chioma felt proud that her plan had worked. After his wedding, Emeka stopped going to the shop because he felt stressed, waking up very early in the morning to prepare. Initially, Sonia thought it was because they were newly married, but 2 months after the wedding, it remained the same. She couldn't hold it in any longer and asked him why he wasn't going to his mother's shop anymore. Emeka, why don't you go to the shop with your mother anymore? Sonia asked, concerned. There is no need for that, Sonia. Emeka replied casually. My mother has got us covered. We will never lack anything. You should even stop working too. Mom has enough to give us. Sonia couldn't believe what she was hearing. She felt betrayed. She went to Chioma's shop and complained to her about what Emeka had told her. Ma, Emeka said there is no need for him to work because you have enough to take care of us. He even advised me to stop working, Sonia said, looking worried. Chioma pleaded with her. Please give him some time, Sonia. He will come around. But Sonia was firm. If this continues, I will leave him. Chioma realized the seriousness of the situation. After closing sales for the day, she called Emeka aside. Emeka, my son, Sonia came to me today. She said she would leave you if you continue staying at home doing nothing. Emeka was angry. What? She threatened to leave me? He fumed. For once, Emeka, listen to me. I will stop giving you money if you continue staying at home doing nothing. Chioma warned. Emeka thought his mother was joking. He continued staying at home, and true to her word, Chioma stopped giving him money. Emeka felt entitled and knew how much his mom made daily. He thought she was being wicked. With his luxury cut off, a terrible thought entered his mind. If I kill my mom, I'll be in charge of everything she has. He pondered. He thought about this for weeks until he came to a conclusion. One day, Chioma decided not to go to the shop. She said she needed to rest. So she, her husband, and Emeka stayed at home. Earlier that day, she had pleaded with Emeka to go to the shop, but he refused. Later in the afternoon, Emeka noticed his dad was taking a nap. He invited his mom into his room, saying he had something to tell her. Chioma innocently went to Emeka's room. As soon as she entered, Emeka grabbed her by the neck and started strangling her. Chioma struggled hard to free herself, but Emeka overpowered her. Unknown to him, his wife Sonia has closed early from work and walked in on Emeka strangling his mother. She gave a loud shout that woke Nsube, who ran to the direction of the shout. He saw his wife lifeless on the floor. Confused, Sonia told her father-in-law what she had seen. Nsube grieved deeply, his mind flashing back to the river goddess's warning. He cried bitterly for his dear wife. In his sorrow, he handed Emeka over to the police to face the law. Sonia, heartbroken and unable to stay in the house with such a painful memory, left their home. Nsube mourned his beloved wife for ages. The house felt empty without her warmth and love. He remembered the happiness they had shared, their dreams, and the struggles they had overcome together. But the pain of losing her in such a tragic way was too much to bear. As time passed, Nsube's health began to decline. He missed Chioma every day and prayed for the strength to go on. Eventually, Nsube passed on, joining his beloved Chioma in peace. The story of Chioma and Nsube was one of love, hardship, and tragedy. It was served as a reminder of the importance of gratitude, the dangers of envy, and the devastating consequences of greed. Emeka's actions were a stark lesson that love, respect, and hard work are the true foundations of a happy and fulfilling life. And so, the story ends, leaving behind memories of love and loss, and a lesson that would be remembered for generations to come. The most important lesson in this story is that hard work, adhering to God's will, and proper upbringing of children are essential for a fulfilling life. These principles act as a foundation for personal and communal prosperity. Hard work instills discipline and resilience, while adherence to God's will provides a moral compass that guides our actions and decisions. Proper upbringing ensures that children grow up with strong values, respect for others, and a clear sense of right and wrong. When these principles are neglected, individuals often find themselves on a negative path that can lead to a devastating consequences. This is clearly exemplified by the downfall of those who ignore these values. They may experience failure, loss, and regret as their choices lead them away from a life of integrity and purpose. Those who embrace hard work, follow God's will, and raise their children with care and love often find prosperity and fulfillment. Their lives are marked by achievements, peace, and a sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing they have done their best and live according to strong positive principles. This story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of these values in shaping a successful and meaningful life. It encourages us to stay committed to hard work, maintain our faith, and invest in the upbringing of our children, ensuring a brighter and more promising future for all. And with that, my dear friends, our story comes to a close. But remember, the magic of storytelling lives on, waiting to whisk us away on new adventures, where the wonders of imagination know no bounds. Goodbye for now, and may your dreams be filled with joy, wonders, and endless possibilities. Thank you so much for watching. Please kindly comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting stories.